Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back into the cave. A lot happening in the tank over the past couple weeks. A lot of different fish going in, different pieces of coral, not to mention some good growth, on some of the pieces. And in this video, I know it's a little long, bear with me. I'm going to walk you through some of the things that are going on. I hope you find it interesting. But hang in there. I got 4 extra fish in the tank from the last time that you saw it. One of them I don't even get to see very often, but I actually got footage of it towards the end there, so stay tuned for that. So now, with all these fish and coral going in, obviously I'm feeding the tank a lot more. There's a lot more nutrients in the water, which is leading to a little bit of the algae issues that I'm experiencing. If you're going through this is normal. If you have a new system, this is going to happen. It just needs a little bit of time to balance out. Just stay on top of your water changes and your maintenance, and you should be fine. So we'll just save that topic for a different day. If you guys have questions, drop them in the comments, but let's get into the fish. The 2 clowns, my 2 favorite fish in the tank, they're doing great. They're coloring up well, they're active, they're all over the tank. Not growing much in size, but their little tum-tums are getting fat because I'm feeding them so much. But these guys are doing great, and they're looking better and better. So the other 4 fish in the tank are actually all Wrasses. Here you're going to be able to see my blue star leopard. It's a male Melanaris there, right there to the left, and I got a small tricolor wrasse. But that Melanaris serves a job, eats flatworms and things like that in the tank, so he's going to put in a shift. But the little tricolor is nice because he kind of adds the color of like an Anthias or something like that without the size. So that was a good buy. I'm glad I found one that small. But my favorite fish besides the clowns in the tank is definitely, this is my favorite wrasse in the tank, is this blue star leopard. This is just an amazing looking fish. I've always wanted one of these. And the biggest thing, that people say is that they're hard to feed, or, they don't eat and things like that. But I think this is where adding copepods to the tank before I added this fish really came in handy, because it settled in a lot better that first day. All it was doing was just picking at the rocks and the glass, and slowly but surely it's eating all the pellets. It's completely on pellets now. Here I just drop them in and turn the gyre off, and with the flow here, it kind of moves in a counterclockwise motion and kind of gives a little bit of still water for to come up and just pick at the pellets. And I couldn't be happier. This thing has been eating a lot. Eats 2-3 times a day. And you can see its stomach expanded, and it's eating well. And that's the biggest complaint people usually have, is that they don't eat. And I'm over the moon that I could get this thing to eat pellets. So guys, that's where we stand with the fish. Got good movement in the tank. Everybody's getting along. That was kind of important. Wanted to add all the peaceful fish first, and then move on to the aggressive ones. There's absolutely no aggression in the tank, which is good. And a lot of that has to do with just feeding your tank, and not worrying about the nutrients, and just making sure that your filtration game is right, and you won't have to deal with any of that. So with that being said, the fish are good. Let's move on to some of the coral that I've added. I'll start with this first piece here, which are the Rastas. Now, when I got these on the frag plug, I mounted them to a piece of rubble that I had. There was some Aptasia on them. So I moved them up top here so I can get some Aptasia X on it. It's worked well. Moving on, I got this candy canes. The candy canes are doing really good, really, really bright. Really add a lot of color to that side, to that island. Got a hammer there in the back that got knocked over, but that piece is doing well, and that octospawn on the top left is blooming pretty nicely. And these rainbow acans actually, it's hard to film them, and this really doesn't do it justice, but these guys are doing good. They're growing heads actually all the way around. The torch here, I moved from that back of that island to the left here, and the gyre actually flows this way, so it's actually getting a lot of flow, but it seems to be liking it, so I'm probably just going to leave that there. Now this frog spawn, I had it a little bit higher in the tank, and you could tell it was just losing a lot of its color. Since I moved it down here, it's actually gaining a little bit of color back, and it's not quite as translucent as it was when I had it higher up in the tank. And that rock to the left actually blocks a lot of flow going towards that frog spawn, so that turns out to be a good spot for it. So now there are a couple things like these acans. I just want them to cover that rock. This little micro mousse I have here, I'm probably going to get rid of that. I don't really like the look of it as much. The Rastas, I'll move over to that rock because that I can actually just take off in case they start to encrust. Same with these watermelon zoas, they'll probably be gone from the tank, just not feeling the color. And that happens. Sometimes we buy a bunch of frags and you have buyer's remorse, or it just doesn't fit where you want it to in your tank. There's lighting and flow and different things that you need to take into consideration, and sometimes it just doesn't match up. And when that happens, it's best to just sell it, move on, and get something that will fit your system. So now this frog spawn here is actually over 11 years old. Well, the colony that it came from is 11 years old. Me and my buddy started our tanks at the same time, and mine crashed, and his colony of this coral grew to like 40 heads. So it was pretty cool to get that back, and it's doing great where it is, and I hope this go around I can get that to grow a little bit. Next I got these Duncans to the right, and again they lost a lot of color. These LEDs sometimes can be very, very strong, and it's looking like that guy is going to stay there until it recovers, and then I'll probably move it on and try to get something else to fill that spot. And that's something I'm still having a little bit of trouble with. These Hydra HDs are pretty strong, and I thought I was running them at a pretty low setting, and even then it seemed like that's a lot. So the best thing I can do right now is I'm probably going to get a par meter, check all my lighting. That's important, and especially for me, I have to do it because I'm completely lost when it comes to tuning LEDs. Back in the day, I had metal halides. All I did was turn on the switch, and I was done. So this ice cap gyre here, it's the ice cap 3K gyre. This thing's pretty strong too. It's pretty big, it's powerful. I think I'm running it at max 30%, and I'm getting pretty good flow all around the tank. And there's that little bastard, that little fish, that possum wrasse that I never get to see. That is the fourth wrasse in my tank, and he's never out. And that's actually, I got lucky that I got to see him there and got a little bit of footage of him. And definitely the ugliest fish in the tank, but it's my ugly fish. So guys, I'm happy with where the tank is right now. Now the plan is to probably just get a bunch of coral and start filling this thing in, and go from there. Hope you guys enjoyed the update. If you stayed this long, thank you. I appreciate it. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next update. Thanks.